Hey there, Bear Cubs. Welcome back to the Bear Den. If you followed us before, our game's already up. If you followed us before, you know that this is the Polar Bear, and I upload video game content apparently never. But let's get back into it. Recently, I've been playing a whole lot of Smite and having not a whole lot of extra time on my hands, so that's what I'm going to play for you. We're going into Arena. It's basically a deathmatch, and I'll explain more once we get our character figured out here. There we go. I'll go with Nuwa. Nuwa is a mage. She has a lot of damage potential and her ultimate hits everybody. Whew. Let's figure out what Smite is. Smite is a third-person action game that is also a MOBA, which I just looked up, stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. That is really confusing, so over the next few games we will get into exactly what that means. But for right now, we're basically just doing a deathmatch. Smite is also based around mythological gods from several pantheons. Nuwa is from the Chinese pantheon. This is Vulcan from the Greek pantheon. Anhur from the Egyptian pantheon. Hunbats from the Mayan pantheon. And whatever this guy decides to play. Looks like he's going to play, or she, whatever, is going to play Hel from the Norse pantheon. Or Thanatos from, hopefully, the Greek pantheon. Possibly Roman. I get those two mixed up. For that matter, I don't know if Vulcan is Greek or Roman. They're the same gods. Who cares? This is the loading screen. So here you can see what all of your allies at the top and all of your enemies at the bottom have decided to play as. See, we've got Hunbats, Thanatos, Anhur, Nuwa, and Vulcan on our team. On the other team, we have Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, Anubis, Janus, Amu Zinkab, he's from the Egyptian pantheon, and Ares. Alright. So this is the pretty standard user interface. At the bottom you can see my abilities, my health, my mana. These are where my items go. This is where my active will go. Those are active items that you buy. These are consumables, and here is our score. We're on the blue side. Our goal is to drive that red number to 0 first. We start at level 3, so I get 3 abilities, and I start with 1,500 gold, so I can buy some stuff. I usually like to start out with something that actually gives me some mana. Shoes. And what else? Sorry, I just got a note from my wife. I'm also going to be super late to the game here. That's okay. So I'll just buy 3 starting items. You guys can go ahead and criticize my items if you know what you're doing. Otherwise, just assume they're probably not the best choices. And I'm sure my team is a little upset that I'm not here yet.
Fuck yeah, video games.
That was my beautiful wife, the Panda Bear. She is currently working on a YouTube project that you may get the lucky opportunity to see for yourself. Well, if you heard that, spoiler alert. Okay, anybody that you see with a green bar of health above their head, that is an ally. The red bar of health means an enemy. This can be useful because sometimes you will wind up with the same god on your team and the enemy team. Not in ranked mode, but in, you know, your regular play. Okay, so as you can see, we're all kind of dancing around. These little guys here are minions. They are AI controlled. They are not controlled by players. Oof. Taking a lot of damage here. You can see my health is turning yellow. That means I'm below, I believe, 50%. Might be a third. 50%. Math time. Come on, grab your friends. Okay. I'm a mage. That means that I depend a lot on my abilities and not so much my regular attacks. That being an example of my ability. This being an example of my ultimate. We'll get into that later. Boom. Okay. I need to go back because I'll heal at the fountain. The fountain is where you start the game. It's also the only place you can buy items. Important. Okay, so now let's start upgrading something. Let's go for shoes. Shoes make you go faster. They give you a small percentage boost to your movement speed, but in a game like this where you're constantly dodging stuff, movement speed is extremely important. Oh, that's not good. So in this game you lose more tickets for dying. You also lose tickets for things like getting your minions killed or allowing them to get their minions all the way into your base, that portal right there. So you'll see we're kind of playing it cautious right now. It's because everyone just wants to level up and not die. The worst thing you can really do is lose points for your team. Oh, Ares chains. Not fun. They do damage over time, they slow you. And I am very squishy, so I need to be much more careful. But I also can do a whole lot of damage. And with my extra clay soldier there, I can push. Alright, let's see more about Smite in general. Every character is a god or goddess, and they often have 3 abilities and 1 ultimate. An ultimate is an ability that usually has a really, well, right now always has a really high cooldown. Ooh, but is extremely effective and good at what it does. Some of them are just universally useful, some of them have multiple utility uses, some are just one purpose, but man, they're good at it. Ultimates are often a big concern during team fights. Saving them for the most optimal moment is usually what decides who wins when everybody's all crowded around. Let's see. So new Oz abilities, let's see if I can display them pretty well here. First ability is called something Mists. It's a big fog cloud. It does damage to enemies, and it conceals allies unless you're attacking. So you're actually in there, you're invisible. It moves along at this slow pace, so it's great for clearing out minions or just making a big unavoidable cloud of damage. Whew, number 2 is that clay soldier you see right there. He'll go out and he'll attack somebody, and you can hit them to stun. And that was her ultimate. Her ultimate is called Rain of Fire. Rain of Fire does damage to every enemy on the map and shows you where they are. You saw me turn golden there for a moment, or if you didn't, you will catch it next time. That means that I am immune to CC or crowd control, things like being stunned or knocked back, stuff like that. Most people's ultimates will make you immune to CC. It's very handy. I did it to avoid a big pull, but we'll get into specific abilities more. Now, as a mage, I'm very squishy, but I do very high damage, and I depend on my cooldowns and my mana being up. Cooldowns mean that you can only use an ability once every so often, depending on the ability. Some of the abilities have low cooldowns, some of the abilities have really long cooldowns. I think the longest cooldowns in the game are a couple minutes. Those tend to be actives, though, and very powerful ones at that. Ooh, that's not good. So if all my cooldowns are up, I can do a lot. If they're not, there's probably not a whole lot I can do. I'm squishy, which means that I have low health and or low armor. It means I'm easy to kill, so I need to be very careful. But mages usually have long range or other ways to deal with the fact that they're so squishy.
A powerful artifact. Do good.
Every character also has a passive. Passives range from all kinds of things. Maybe it's just an enhancement for one particular ability. It could also be... Oh god. I'm not playing very well here. Oh, and that was me falling into an enemy's attack. Oh my gosh. We gotta keep these minions under control. It's very hard to play and talk at the same time. I did not expect that. But hey, we'll get better. Oh, that's bad. That's a lot of damage. We're gonna just get up here, because this takes us out of the arena for a little bit. Oh. Okay. Heal up. You can see when we're in the fountain, we heal up and we get... Okay, so I just completed an item. Items you buy in 3 stages. So often you'll hear people talk about boots 1 or boots 2. That means the first or second stage of boots. 3 is when it's complete, and it usually has a pretty big bonus, and it costs a lot more to get up to being a complete item. But it's worth it. So what we're going to do is we're going to tow out our K Soldier, and our third ability, which I guess we didn't talk about, is called Shining Metal, and we're not going to get a chance to show off its best thing. But we are going to upgrade it. So Shining Metal is just a ball of... Oh god. The leg spikes are real. So it stuns people in a radius when you hit the Clay Soldier. You shatter the Clay Soldiers. Oh, this is a very close game. We are winning by 5 tickets. That's exactly 1 kill. Okay. Alright, we're getting more damage, and damage is very important for a mage because a lot of your defense involves on just straight up scaring the enemy away from you. You want to make it very risky to attack you. You should be able to burst down most people as a mage if they get overly aggressive. And we'll use one of these Clay Soldiers. So I like using the clay soldiers to help push lanes. Nua's very, very good at that because she has a lot of big damage. And she can participate in a team fight from a distance, because remember... Oh, that's bad. Yep. Yep, that's bad. We'll get into why, I'm sure, in a future video, but for right now, just know that I need to buy something called beads to make sure that Ares can't pull me into death like that. It makes you immune to CC, and it clears any CC on you. So if someone tries to stun you or pull you, like Ares is very known for, and now we're losing. But this is a close game. It still could go either direction. Summon that guy. Oh, that clear is not great. Okay, ooh. That's a Janus portal. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay. I need to start sticking with my allies very closely, or I will get myself killed. I'm going to start upgrading my clay soldiers. You do summon up to 3 clay soldiers towards the end of that particular chain. Oh, this is not going well for us. They're just grouping up way better than we are. And that's the thing. This is a very team-oriented game. And right now, I honestly have not been that good of a teammate because I've been very focused on trying to explain the game to you. And there I go. Oy. Well, the series is called Polar Bear Sucks At, so what did you really expect? Alright, we're getting some kills because they're getting cocky. That's not the best reason you could possibly get kills, but... So if I don't stand here, this is going to go through, and if it goes through, we lose a ton of points. So right now, yep, because no one is here. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm getting a bunch of items filled out. Pretty soon, I should really hit my stride here. One would hope. We are still winning. We're doing okay. Alright. So one of the biggest things with Nua is timing your ultimate, which I've done a very poor job of, and also getting good stuns off with your minions. Because after you summon them, they're kind of just brainless, you can't control them, it can be difficult to land your stuns when you need them. Oh, now the coolest thing about MOBAs and Smite in general, or I guess Smite and MOBAs in general, Smite in particular, is that each character brings something new to the table, and you have to really consider enemy abilities when you are playing the game. So each game is different, and it's mostly brought along by character variety. Oh, and see, I missed the stun right there. So now I'm going to try and save this guy by intercepting hits. Can't do it. So now we're just going to damage everybody. I'm probably going to die. There it is. Alright. Alright, we can do this. Okay, I'm getting assists, and that's good because it does give you money and experience. Now, during the course of a MOBA, you level up much like an RPG. Each game, though, you start back at 0. There's no, in Smite especially, there's no inherent benefit to having played more games to somebody else at the beginning. The only thing that matters is how skilled you are and how well you know the game. Ugh. And this is probably the simplest game mode, just because there's not much to it other than pushing and killing and making sure you don't die yourself, which my team is not doing a great job of, but you know what? That's just the way this game goes sometimes. Big part of it's coordinating with your team, and we haven't been super good about that, but we're still doing alright. Okay, and we don't have enough money for the next stage of what I want. We're trying to get the Rod of Tahuti. It gives you the most magical power of any item in the game, and it gives you a straight percentage increase on other magical power sources. It might not actually give you the most flat magical power in the game, but it's a huge spike in just straight up magic power. I'm gonna die. So what we're going to do is we're going to cast this defensively. I'm going to swerve back and forth, and I'm invisible while I'm in here, so they don't know exactly where I am. You could tell they were chasing me. They knew for sure I was in there, though. Oh, that's bad. So after you die, you have a respawn timer. And that respawn timer is just how long before you can exist in the game again. Most competitive games have that. It's a big deal in this if a lot of you die at once, because then the enemy just gets free reign to push through it. And remember, getting minions into the end is also worth points. So those points are super valuable. That's really good. Our Aunher's doing some work. Oh, I'm getting too aggressive. Also called overextending. Alright, they've drawn him off me. That's good. Oh, he still killed somebody. Man.
This will help.
Okay. Still more damage. You can see here we've got 0 kills, 4 deaths, 8 assists. That's really not good. We are dragging our team down. I mean, we're probably not mutually or exclusively able to take responsibility for this poor performance, but... Ooh, okay, okay. And what we're going to do here is we're going to cast this, because we might get the kill. Nope. Oh, and I'm going to die. There it is. I hope my team isn't too mad at me. Well, what I've been doing is a perfect example of what's called feeding. It means doing badly in a game, giving them a lot of kills, which means that they get more experience, and in this case that they get points straight up towards winning the game. So that's not good. But I've also gotten a lot of assists, so that means I am helping out a little bit. I'm not useless, I'm just also not good. Oh. Thank you, Thanatos, for helping out with that. So I finally got a kill. That's good, because mages are supposed to be able to get kills. They do die very well, as you just saw. Okay, so the rod, as you can see, let's talk about some stats here. Magical power is how much damage you deal with magic attacks. That is the most. MP5 is mana per 5. That lets me cast my spells more often. And increases magical power by 25%. That's just a flat, or a percentage increase on my magical power. So my magical power probably spiked by about a third, maybe even closer to a half, just from that one item. So this should be a pretty rude awakening for them. My kid's starting to come together.
I'll come and go with
you. And this is a really bad place for me to be with this. But we'll escape. Just straight up. So as you can see, we're starting to pull it around. We do have at the top, you can see we have 21 kills, the blue number, and 24 versus 24 kills, the red number. But this is still anybody's game. They do have a pretty good lead on us. Oh, yep. Ares is a really good character in this particular game mode because he can pull everybody in exactly where he needs them. Hoo. Okay, okay. So we'll heal up. We're losing this game much worse now. That was a very good play on their part. That would slow me down. Yeah, he's probably right. This might be GG. It's hard. We got off to a bad start. I'm not used to streaming and playing this game at the same time. It's very action oriented, which means I should have my game face on at all times, and I just kind of don't. Not right now. That's okay. We're gonna do a few games. I'm gonna try and upload at least one game a week. Oh, nope. And then we're gonna go in the air. Nope, we died first. At least our ult didn't go on cooldown, but we're probably gonna die. Oh, I was gonna say we're gonna die before we get back up. There's nothing really that's gonna save us now. Let's get this.
Let me see if I can put
That'll give me a little bit of physical protection. Okay. So they got really aggressive once they realized that they were getting close to winning, and that really threw our whole team, including myself, for a loop. So we're just trying to keep up at this point and maybe live a little bit longer, give ourselves a little bit more of a respectable score. Although I've had way worse games than this, team-wise. So I'm kind of diving in and out here. Nua's kind of a difficult character for this, but I've been trying to get experience on her. We'll talk about experience more later, because there are debatably three different kinds of experience. Ow. That hurts a lot. That's the power of mage. So I'm going to go back to base really quick. Nope, got dead. Bet my team's pretty pissed about that. Obviously. That was a very sarcastic, nice job. Alright, and I was the worst person in this game, by a lot. Hey there, beautiful, how are you? You found one?
Snow globe.
Right now?
It's only 8 o'clock.
I know, but I have to do stuff tomorrow.
Shit.
Like, a lot of stuff.
5 stars.
Love you too. So that was my wife. You might have just gotten a bigger sneak peek into what she's doing.
Oh god, it's gonna snow.
Yeah, I need to get up early for work for that. So one more kill and they win it, or 2 more minions. We just lost, so I don't know. I'm not stressed about it.
Retreat! Retreat!
Let's see how this goes.
I mean, I guess it's possible we could win, but it's definitely not going to be for my help. Oh, there it goes.
Sorry, good game.
Alright guys, well that was my first game, well, my first recorded game. Unfortunately, I cannot use the excuse that that was my first game. That was my first recorded game of Smite for the Bear Den. This has been the Polar Bear, and hopefully I'll suck less next time.